Urban Development in Karnataka, Part 6. In this essay, we will discuss the overall planning aspects of the state, that is, the integrated spatial planning at the state level and the master planning at the city level. We will discuss various planning elements, the role of planning organizations, and the legislations in this regard. Finally, we will see in detail as to what are the various central and state schemes and projects concerning overall urban development. First, let us understand what is master planning. Master plan is an integrating spatial planning with economic development planning. The approach to the urban development in the 5-year plan has been ad hoc and piecemeal. As pointed out by the National Commission on Urbanization, there has been a lack of spatial concerns in the planning process, and no efforts have been made to link the process of urbanization with the general pattern of economic development in the region and in the state as a whole. The objective of spatial planning is to generate a process of spatial development which optimizes utilization of resources, reduces regional, spatial and economic imbalances. It also should strengthen the rural and urban relationships and protect the environment and maintain an ecological balance. A state-level perspective spatial planning must be prepared, therefore, to highlight policies relating to the development of the thrust areas of the state. They are development of natural resources, regional development, settlement pattern, population distribution policy, transportation networks, water and power supply systems, the urban poor and their needs, and areas of tourist interest and the environmental issues. Let us see what is the meaning of regional development and the concerns in this. The industrial policy of the state aims at industrialization in the backward regions and also the development of industrial corridors and identifying potential locations to set up industries. In this context, it is essential to identify a spatial configuration of the existing and the future urbanization in or near the cities and along with the emerging urban corridors. Now let us see various aspects of planning for metropolitan areas. Although Bangalore is the only metropolitan city in Karnataka at present, Hubli, Dharwad and Mysore are also fast emerging as metros, and as such it is necessary to plan for an orderly development of these 3 metropolitan areas in the state. The Bangalore metropolitan area covers an extent of 1,307 square kilometers, of which 420 square kilometers is earmarked as agricultural land or the green belt. The Bangalore City Corporation or the BBMP, which has been extended recently from an area of 223 square kilometers to 709 square kilometers, comes within the metropolitan planning area. The Bangalore Development Authority is the planning authority for the metropolitan area and is also responsible for the land development and housing. The Expert Committee on the Governance of Bangalore has suggested setting up of Metropolitan Planning Committee, that is MPC, for the Bangalore metropolitan region, covering as much as 8,000 square kilometers, and it would cover Bangalore urban, Bangalore rural and Ramanagaram districts. The composition, powers and functions of the Metropolitan Planning Committee as recommended by the Expert Committee will have to be adopted. In order to deal effectively the planning and development issues of Hubli and Dharwad and Mysore, metropolitan committees must be set up for these 2 cities. The physical jurisdiction of these 2 metropolitan areas must be carefully demarcated, taking into consideration the peripheral outgrowths and potential for urban expansion. Now, let us understand the details of planning at the city level. Under the Constitution, urban planning and town planning, as also the social and economic development and protection of the environment, are functions to be performed by the urban local bodies. However, in Karnataka, these responsibilities have not yet been assigned to the municipalities. At present, master plans under the Karnataka Town and Country Planning Act are prepared by the local planning authorities or the urban development authorities. Under the Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission, the municipalities have been expected to prepare a city development plan. The present practice of having a master plan, development plan, and comprehensive development plan will have to be given up. Only one plan will have to be prepared at the city level, and which includes a spatial plan, development plan, and development control measures, and such plan should be prepared by the municipality itself. The capacity of the urban local bodies will have to be enhanced to take on all the planning responsibilities. Now, town and country planning. Preparation of master plans for the orderly development of cities, towns and villages in the state, and providing technical assistance to the urban development authorities, planning authorities, and local bodies in the state for implementation of these plans and schemes are the major activities of this department. Karnataka Town and Country Planning Act of 1961 has been extended to 132 urban centers in the state, and authorities have been constituted to these urban centers after declaring local planning area. Accordingly, in addition to Bangalore Development Authority, 28 urban development authorities and 39 planning authorities are functioning in the state. In respect of 64 towns, municipal areas have been declared as local planning areas, and the respective municipal councils are functioning as planning authorities. The department, that is the Town and Country Planning Department, is extending technical assistance to the Karnataka Housing Board, Karnataka Industrial Area Development Board, Karnataka Slum Clearance Board, and Revenue Department, and such other departments which are involved in the urban and rural settlements. Further, the department is extending technical assistance to local bodies and departments in the preparation of town extension schemes, development and improvement schemes, rehabilitation schemes, Ashraya schemes, and other such schemes. Now, let us take a brief look at the achievements made by the Town and Country Planning Department. Urban governance. In this area, the colonial authority and structure of the city governance continues to this day, with resistance to the sharing political power with local urban institutions. There is a host of urban development and departmental agencies which deal with the urban services. This is particularly so in the metropolitan cities, where there are separate government agencies dealing with the water supply, sewerage, transport, and infrastructure development, etc. To bring some reform in this urban development system, the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act has provided the municipal bodies the constitutional status of third tier of the government. Besides handling their traditional functions such as water supply, sanitation, public work, etc., the Constitution has included certain other functions for municipalities, like planning for economic development, social justice, urban poverty alleviation, and urban and town planning. However, the Constitution does not directly empower these municipal bodies to handle these functions. It is the state government ultimately which determines the degree of autonomy of the local bodies. Now let us take a look at the various schemes and projects of urban development at the state and the national level. Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission, that is JNNURM. This is a sort of a mother of all projects, and it was launched in December 2005 with the objective of linking the assistance from the central to the state governments for the development of overall urban infrastructure, across the nation. This program was adopted in 65 selected cities, among which Bangalore and Mysore in Karnataka were the part of it. The mission has two components, that is the urban infrastructure and the governance, and the second is the basic service for the urban poor. Urban infrastructure and governance. In this area, the needs of the urban infrastructure such as drains, construction of underpasses, grade separators, upgradation and skywalks, etc. are covered. Currently in Karnataka, the Bangalore Mahanagarapalikha, that is BBMP, is working on these components. Now, what are the basic services for the urban poor? The objective of this scheme is focused attention to the integrated development of basic services to the urban poor in the cities covered under the mission. Funds have been provided and they are on a sharing basis, with 50% provided by the central government and the rest 40% by the state government, and the 10% from the urban local bodies are the beneficiaries. Currently, a budget of 160 crore rupees has been allotted to the state by the central government for the implementation of two projects. These projects cover the 18 slums and the construction of 1,800 dwelling units for the slum dwellers. Out of this, 400 dwelling units have been completed and allotted to the beneficiaries. Under the Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission, Mysore and Bangalore are the two cities from Karnataka covered under the mission. The Government of India has allotted an investment of 460 crore rupees for the 67 projects in Karnataka. In the year 2013 and 14, the central government released 16,000 crore rupees and the state government contributed 759 crore rupees for these projects. Out of the approved 67 projects, 26 projects have been already completed in the Karnataka state. Then there is a Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana. Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana was implemented and sponsored by the central government in the state from 1997 onwards. The objective of this scheme is the eviction of poverty from the urban areas by providing a gainful employment to unemployed and underemployed urban youth living below poverty line. Then there is a Chief Minister's Small and Medium Town Development Program. Government of Karnataka accorded approval for the implementation of Chief Minister's Small and Medium Development Program in urban local bodies in the state of Karnataka. The following are the salient features of the scheme. That is, implementation cost for the infrastructural projects in 211 urban local bodies in Karnataka is estimated to be 14,054 crore rupees. The works to be undertaken are to improve the urban services such as water supply, stormwater drainage, municipal solid waste and slum improvement and upgradation, etc. Karnataka Water and Sanitation Pooled Fund Trust has raised 700 crore rupees from the financial institutions and banks for funding the part of the project cost. The terms for funding the urban local bodies will be by way of securitization of the future State Finance Commission devolution. Arising out of the untied grants to the urban local bodies that will be released to the Directorate of the Municipal Administration. The term loan of 700 crore rupees that is raised is for a period of 8 years, and out of which 2 years is the moratorium and interest would be paid on monthly basis. Karnataka Water and Sanitation Pooled Fund Trust has raised a term loan of 300 crore rupees during 2009 and 10 from the various banks and another 200 crore rupees during 2011 and 12. Urban Development Department will have the overall responsibility for implementing the program. The Director of Municipal Administration will be the overall coordination agency. Now let us take a look at the initiatives that have been taken during the 2013 and 14, which gives an idea of the latest urban development schemes and projects. The schemes approved for the urban development infrastructure funds aim at a broad-based distribution of these funds under the three segments, that is commercial, semi-commercial and social. Objectives of this scheme is to promote infrastructure development by enabling urban local bodies to access market in a cost-effective manner and provide the process a source which is both long-term and economical. Incentives are built in the urban local bodies to adopt municipal reforms and display the project implementation capabilities and focus in social sectors. These incentives carry a significant discount on the lending rates by the financial institutions. Now we come to the end of the essay. We summarize the key points to remember in this essay. They are: the objective of spatial planning is to generate a process of spatial development which optimizes utilization of resources, reduces regional, spatial and economic imbalances, and further strengthens rural and urban relationships and protects the environment and maintains an ecological balance. The industrial policy of the state aims at industrialization in the backward regions and also development of industrial corridors, and it identifies the potential locations to set up industries. Although Bangalore is the only metropolitan city in Karnataka at present, Hubli, Dharwad and Mysore are fast emerging as metros, and as such it is necessary to plan for an orderly development of these three metropolitan areas in the state. The Bangalore Development Authority is the planning authority for the metropolitan area of Bangalore and is also responsible for land development and housing. Planning at the city level. Under the Constitution, urban planning and town planning, as also social and economic development and protection of the local bodies is ensured. However, in Karnataka, these responsibilities have not yet been assigned to the municipalities. Town and country planning. The preparation of master plans for the orderly development of the cities, towns and villages in the state and providing a technical assistance to urban development authorities, planning authorities and local bodies in the state for the implementation of these plans and schemes are the major activities of the Town and Country Planning Department. To bring some reform in the urban development system, the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act provided the municipal bodies the constitutional status of third tier of the government. There were many schemes and projects, and Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission was a sort of a mother of all the projects, and it was launched in December 2005 with the objective of linking the assistance from the central to the state governments for the development of urban infrastructure. The mission has two components, that is urban infrastructure and governance, and the provision of basic services for the urban poor. Then there is a Swarna Jayanti Shahari Rozgar Yojana, and it was implemented and sponsored by the central government in the state from 1997 onwards. The objective of this scheme was the eradication of poverty from urban areas. The government of Karnataka accorded approval for the implementation of Chief Minister's Small and Medium Development Program in urban local bodies in the state of Karnataka. Urban Development Department plays an important role, and it will have the overall responsibility for implementing the program. The Director of Municipal Administration is overall coordination agency. The scheme has been approved by the Cabinet to deploy urban development infrastructure funds, aiming at broad-based distribution of these funds under three segments, that is, commercial, semi-commercial, and social aspects.